Here's an example of an image that has varied hue and saturation throughout the Cubist collage. So if you look close, there are some images that have all black and white. So you have the black and white images. And then there are some that are different hues. So I repeated this blue hue in a few areas. So here's another blue tint. And then the purple hues as well. So I use more of these reddish tones. I didn't do too much, so there's not a lot of yellows and greens and random colors within this. So I kept it to a limited number of different hues and saturations. So some are black and white, some are blue, some are purple. So make sure that you're still tying things together and repeating colors. And then I also kind of spaced things out. So I didn't have too many of the black and white next to each other, but they're all spaced out. And then the blue is spaced out as well with the purple. So to adjust the hue and saturation on your layers, you're going to click on the image that you want to start with. So I'm just going to use this move tool here, and I'm going to select the image that I want to start adjusting the hue and saturation to. And then instead of going to layer, new adjustment layer, I'm going to go to image adjustments, and this is going to add my hue and saturation directly onto a single layer. Versus if you're going to layer at the top and then adjustments, it's going to add it to all of the layers underneath that adjustment. So since we just want it on one layer, I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, and then Hue and Saturation. The only downside to this is that once it's added, it is stuck as that color. So make sure that you have it set to how you want it to be. Otherwise, you'll have to keep hitting Command Z and go back a bunch of steps to change your hue and saturation. But I'm going to start and just slide this saturation bar. Make sure that your preview is selected, and that will allow you to see what it looks like on the image over here. But you can slide that around and see what you like, what looks the best with your specific project. And once you have it set to what you want, you can hit OK. You can also play around with the lightness of the image, so maybe you want some of it to be a little bit lighter, more saturated will really create an intense color, so I would stay away from doing too much on that end of things, but you can always make images black and white or slightly desaturated as well. I'm going to hit OK and then choose another image. And again, I'm going to try to space things out and keep things somewhat consistent. So I'm going to continue this bluish green color on another image that's maybe one or two picture layers over. So I'm selecting the picture I want to adjust, going to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation. And then I'm going to slide that all the way to the left where I got that other hue from. I can increase that saturation just a little bit. I'll hit OK. And then maybe I'll do this same color somewhere down at the bottom as well to space it out. So I'm selecting that picture, Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation. And again, I'm just moving through and trying to adjust some of those values. So now maybe I'll jump to some black and white images. So maybe this image on the top I can do in black and white. So same spot, just bring that saturation all the way down to the left and it makes that image black and white. And then maybe this picture with the lips to space it out a little bit. And then up in the corner. So just play around with the hue and saturation. Remember as the main thing to make sure you're repeating colors. Maybe this one here I can find a different color to use. But again, it's not going to be the only image that has more of that green tint. So I'm going to look for maybe a picture up at the top that's spaced out where I can go in and add more of that green tint to it. So hue and saturation. And then OK.